Alright guys, so in the previous video we saw that I was using the physical PLC and we saw the on and the off delay timer. I want to do separate videos here on the on delay, off delay, and the other timers using PLC SIM as well. So if you're using PLC SIM, we'll walk through each of those steps. So if you did the previous one with the physical PLC, then you can move on. So you'll see that within the course I'll have physical PLC videos, and then I'll also have PLC SIM videos if I see the need for them. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to drop in a timer, right? So we can grab this guy over here, the TON timer, drag it over till it's green and drop it over. And again, you'll see that this is the IAC timer is 0, right? This is a data block. And so this one starts at 0. If you brought in another timer, it'd be timer 1. So it's an entire data block that is dropped in. It says if you call the function block as a single instance, the function block saves its data in its own instance data block. Okay, cool. We're going to do this one as an automatic as well. So we're hitting OK. Beautiful. Then we need something to turn on the input to this timer. So we're going to bring this guy down here. And this one I'm going to address this as percent I 0.1. Okay, that one I'm going to just rename as my start push button. So you'll see that I'm going faster now because we've done this numerous times. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in the preset time. Now the preset time is set in milliseconds. So I'm going to put in 5,000 for my preset time, and you'll see that it comes in as 5 seconds. If I just put 5, then you'll see that it says 5 milliseconds. So be careful there in that you need to put in a value that's in thousands of milliseconds. There we go. Okay, so there's our 5 seconds. You can also put in 5 seconds and it should come in. Okay, we have our Q as our output. I'm going to have that turn on an assignment. And this one I'm just going to label percent %Q 0.0. Okay, and as usual, I'm just going to rename this guy as output 0. Excellent. Okay, so our program is done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to simulate this. We're going to click on anywhere on the screen, come up here and hit our simulation, and follow the same steps that we've done numerous times. Okay, don't forget to click Start the module. Excellent. So we're up and running now, but I also want to make use of the project view. So we're going to click here on project view. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up a new project, and let's call this one timer project. Okay, you see here down at the bottom that it's scanning the interface and coming in now. Beauty. Okay, everything should be set up. Let's see if the project tree comes up. Okay, so the project tree did not expand, so we're going to click here. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to the sim tables, and we're going to open up our sim table here. Excellent. At this point we have two choices. We can either just load the project tags, which might be the easiest thing to do. I've done this in a specific sequence, so in the textbook, so I'm going to do the start push button here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all the portions of the timer. So I'm going to do the PT first, then I'm going to do the enable, then I'm going to do the in, and then finally the Q for our output. And then we've got our output 0 that we want as well. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Let's move this over there. And then what we'll do is we'll float this so we can see these guys right beside our program. Okay, I'm going to move the project tree on my TIA over, bring up my PLC SIM here, put these bad boys beside each other, and now we can we need to be able to go online, right? So remember that we need to hit monitoring on and off, and then we should be ready to go. That's frustrating that every time you do that, it clicks the PLC SIM over. Nice. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to toggle each of the tags. And the one tag that we're going to toggle is going to be our start push button. Now you have two options here, right? You can click here and you can set the bit to a 1, or you can press this. Remember that this, if I set this bit, then it will stay set. Whereas if I hit this push button, it's going to be momentary. Okay, so that we'll do both, and I'll show you both of them. So this one needs a positive input into the in. Once that goes positive, then the timer will start to time out. We will see that the elapsed time is going to increase, right? So our elapsed time is going to increase. And then once the elapsed time is equal to our preset time of 5 seconds, then the Q will go true. It'll go to from a 0 to a 1, and that will make our output true over here. Okay, and you'll also see up here that the value for the timer is incrementing here. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to set this bit for the start, and this guy will come in. Doing that now. Beautiful. Now you can see that the timer is increasing. 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and as soon as the elapsed time equals the preset time, right? So you can see these two values are the same here. Then the Q goes true. Okay, once the Q goes true, then the Q0.0 goes true as well. Beautiful. The other way to do that is to deselect this guy, right? So as soon as I do that, you'll notice that the elapsed time goes to 0, right? And then the Q goes to 0, and obviously this output goes to 0 as well. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you was that if you were to press the start push button and start to increase the timing value, and let it go before it got to the preset time, then the output would never set, right? So again, I'm going to press the start push button right here. This is a momentary virtual push button. Okay, that's going to make this true, and we're going to watch these two values, okay, or watch the values right here, and you'll see that the elapsed time is obviously increasing, but I'm going to let the start push button go prior to it getting to the preset time of 5 seconds. So pressing the start push button now, we're increasing to 2, 3, 4, and then I let her go just before it gets to 5, and the output never set there. Okay, if I hold that push button down until the time the elapsed time and the preset time equal each other, now the output sets. Beautiful. Okay, so it's exact same as any on delay timer. You have the signal coming in. Takes a little bit of time for that output to change state, but it has to equal the preset time in order for the output to go true. If the signal from the start push button to the in ever goes to a 0, then the elapsed time goes to 0 right away. So this is not a retentive timer whatsoever. It will increment when it's high, but if it goes low, then that value is lost forever. You have to make it go high again to the input, and the elapsed time and the preset time have to equal each other in order for the output to turn on. Excellent. Hopefully everything worked out for you guys and everything made sense. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at sequential timers using the on delay unit that we just looked at. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.